in front of more than 14,000 fans here at the Kohl Center. It is only the second time since this building opened up in 1998 that a women's basketball game has been sold out. Double team early on for Sharon Goodman. Gabby Marshall from deep. She had a cold shooting day her last time out. Marshall went 0 for 5 from the floor in their last game. Sarah Williams gets the first 2 points for the home team. And immediately it's stolen right away by Sanaya Copeland. No whistle there. Copeland wanted one. And size-wise, they do have an advantage.
Well, they do. And also, Sarah Williams is one of the top post players in this league.
Which I assume means added emphasis on Williams to make sure she's out of foul trouble today.
Well, she has to. And that's something that she's gotten better at. And you see right there the double team from Iowa. They know that she's one of the top post players and one of their main weapons.
Very quick move by Ronnie Porter. We're going to call her game a lot today. She has been impressing these Badger fans.
And that was because of the double team that came, and Williams passed out of the double, which is an improvement for her.
Quick 2 points inside with Sharon Goodman, one of the post players who's been stepping up this season for the Hawkeyes. More from Porter, driving baseline. She's only 5'4", and she turns the ball over. Molly Davis the other way. Straight into the paint. Beautiful bounce pass to Marshall, who can't finish, but it's off of Schrammick. Now the head coach of the Badgers is Marissa Mosley in her 3rd year here. She said she looked back at how to beat Iowa statistically the last few years. The 2 main stats were they have to, 1, make 10 three-pointers or more, and 2, have 15 free throws. Historically, if teams do that, they have the best chance of beating the Hawkeyes. Goodman cleans up Clark's miss.
I like Goodman. I really, really like Sharon Goodman, Mike Haw. She reminds me a lot of what you would think of a typical Iowa big, like a Monica Snodel, Megan Gustafson. Her size, her ability to finish at the rim.
Williams again on the other end for another quick 2.
Wisconsin, they're really going to try to be intentional about going inside.
I mentioned Goodman. She averaged 1 point a game last year. She's up to 9 so far this season. And Schrammick with the steal. Copeland all the way in. The head coach for the Hawkeyes is Lisa Bluter, and we talked to her about that loss to Kansas State. Clark might just keep this thing. Oh, look at that dribble. Leisinger guarding Clark. Hannah Stuelke through a double team, draws a whistle.
So if you're going to double, you've got to go early.
27 in a row. That is the longest streak of any Big Ten conference matchup. The last time Wisconsin beat the Hawkeyes was February of 2007, almost 17 years ago.
You know what's so great, though, about having a young team like Wisconsin has is they don't know anything about history, so they could care less about that streak, right?
They were barely alive the last time Wisconsin beat the Hawkeyes. Ball swinging around. Schrammick from the top of the key. That's the first 3-pointer of the day.
It's great ball movement by the Badgers.
Here's Clark looking for her first points of the game. Down the lane, she gets the layup to go. And
that's a call and a losing battle. She's been playing that way for her entire.
Sometimes you get the leeway when you're a senior leading the nation in scoring, which you've done twice before in your career.
And in all fairness, you should. You know, there are different rules for players like LeBron, Kobe, Caitlin.
She is, by the way, at that first name basis point. You can just say Caitlin, and everyone knows who you're talking about in the world of sports. Here's the turnover. The Hawks are pushing. Nice feed from Clark and Stuelke. Along with Sharon Goodman, who they expect to pick up the slack. And the big 4 and 5 starter they lost last year, McKenna Warnock. Here's Clark with a deep 3-pointer, around and out. And Douglas with the board. Up ahead running's the youngster, Jimenez. Can't finish the 2, but sticks with it, and the possession stays alive. Copeland, too strong on the 3. Ronnie Porter guarding Clark. Another nice feed from Clark. Stuelke with the second effort is good, and another whistle on road games for them. And sure enough, more than 14,000 fans here. Only the second sellout in the Kohl Center history for women's hoops. Again, it opened back in 1998.
She is so good for this game, Mike. She is so good for women's basketball.
Amazing the attention the sport has gained. We were talking with Lisa Bluter before the game about when Sue Bird and Jason Sudeikis stopped by 2 games ago. Correct.
Number 1 versus number 2. It was a non-conference game versus Bowling Green, which is a
Jonas Jimenez, the freshman, that free throw stopped a 7-0 run for the Hawkeyes. Clark thought she had Stuelke back there. And that's a turnover.
Different looks, putting different types of defenders on her.
Clark passed 3,000 points in her career in that last game they played. Swat from Kylie Few. Scored 16 points or more. And her head coach, Marissa Mosley, told us she's got so much raw.
She's just got a good feel for the game.
I mean, you will see, if you watch this whole game, this is a great rebound and putback by Williams and Jimenez that you're going to see. Sometimes she will drive the lane in a way that's rare to see in this sport. Stuelke spinning around a double team.
Situation, they're going to call the foul.
And there's 2 fouls on Sarah Williams, who will head to the bench, and we mentioned at the top of the game. All her players, like, you know what everyone's doing after this game? They're going home. There's 14,000 people are going to live the rest of their lives. You need to just worry about you and not the fans and not the opponent. And the Badgers are up by 4. Martin to a cutting Clark for 2. And another whistle.
Is she's finishing through contact at a higher clip than she was her first few years.
Free throw's good. That also makes 2 fouls on Natalie Leisinger, so that's 2 starters for the Badgers already on the bench, each with 2 fouls early on. Ronnie Porter showing off, misses the bucket.
And Gabby Marshall, she should have just let that go. I mean, Gabby Marshall's not really known. She's a good defender, but not
for someone who's 5'4".
She's like Mighty Mouse. That's someone who doesn't know that.
Stuelke, give and go. Again, Douglas with the board. Porter's going to reset. Wisconsin shooting 58% in this first quarter. Schrammick, the mid-range. Put back by Douglas. Big Ten Plus delivers thousands of non-televised live events. Access to next day on-demand replays. BigTenPlus.com. The Iowa ball. She injured her knee last November. Was lost for the entire season. Only played in 5 games and only played 3 minutes in that outing yesterday. There goes Clark. Clark's up to 8 points. Jimenez on the drive. Clark on her. Davis with the rebound. Seconds. Kate Martin from deep. Goodman keeps it alive. Final attempt from Davis doesn't. She won 5 national titles as an assistant coach at UConn. She knows how to be around a winning culture, and she's trying to build that in year 3 here at Wisconsin. Davis's free throws are good. And we are knotted up after 10 minutes. And here's an interesting graphic. When they lose the last 2 seasons, she has a greater percentage of the points the team scores, which is 38%. And it is exactly what she has right now through the first quarter. Second opportunity on this possession for Wisconsin.
The more she has to do, then the less I like Iowa as a team. She's the X factor.
She went 0 in the Kansas State loss. Didn't have a single point. Ever since then, she's averaging almost 15 a contest. She's been playing so good that, to your point, Lisa Bluter told us WNBA teams are starting to sniff around about her specifically. Great drive by Kylie Feuerbach. Shot clock down to 10. Sarah Williams back in the game with 2 fouls. Gets the bucket, heading to the line. About what Williams has done this year is her conditioning. Last year as a freshman, she could really only go 2.5 to 3 minutes.
If they can get her to about 35 minutes a game this season, that'd be great.
She puts her paw up there to deflect the pass as Caitlin Clark has come back into the game and the Badgers are running. Jimenez, baseline. And a foul on Sharon Goodman. Second foul on Sharon Goodman. Williams sitting with 9 points. That's a game high. Porter just full confidence flying in there and allowing Williams. That's 27 consecutive wins for the Hawkeyes in this rivalry.
And every time you mention that stat, I'm going to tell you these young kids for Wisconsin do not care. Like some offense, defense type situations towards the end of this quarter.
Stuelke hits the first free throw. Getting a chat from her head coach.
You can't get any better looks than what they're getting.
Shot clock under 10. Falter, nice defense on Jimenez. And then that's an offensive foul.
That sort of physicality and aggressiveness that she's seeing from Kohl Center.
Marissa Mosley told us they mostly want to try to frustrate Caitlin Clark, make her take tough shots. Don't give her any open looks. So far, they've mostly been able to do that. Although Clark finds space in a heartbeat, doesn't she? Taylor McCabe in the game. Guarding Porter. The Hawkeyes have a 5-on-4 as Porter is slow to pick up. Martin from deep. A falter with a foul on Jimenez. Falter's first point of the game. Hawkeye team that, once again, is great at scoring. They're averaging 80. Guillen. And McCabe has the board. Martin will fire. And hit. You knew she could. Foul trouble for Sarah Williams. Post player is on the bench with 3.
You see Iowa shifts into this zone, this 2-3 zone.
Porter for 3 is good. Beautiful defense by Copeland. But her importance offensively, defensively, she's I mean, if they're going to be a Final Four team again this year, they need her to be great.
She has to be great, Mike. And she's not just a senior. She is a 6-year senior. She's been in this program for 6 years. She has a sense of urgency. She has a mindset, a mentality that you can't teach or coach. You only develop it with age and experience.
Guillen has to force up a shot as the shot clock's expiring. And there's a beautiful outlet from Clark to Stuelke. A falter with the follow. She starts to drive. You can see the look in her eyes. The entire crowd knows something interesting is about to happen. This might be another one of those moments. Takes it all the way in. And rebound to Guillen. Porter on a 2-on-3 break. Takes it herself and floats it up and in. Clark will inbound.
Sometimes, Mike, it's all it takes is that one to open it up.
Martin gets her own rebound. Puts it back up and in. Jimenez took too many steps at the end. We are witnessing a marvelous scene here today. This is a shot our crew got at 11 a.m. Central, so that's 2.5 hours before tip-off. Look at the scene when Caitlin Clark and the Hawkeyes come to town.
It's like I said earlier, Mike, she is what's great about women's basketball. I haven't seen, in my years as a player, in my 24 years as a coach, I haven't seen one player make an impact like this.
That bucket gives her 12 points. Jimenez takes a bump, keeps the ball. Schrammick. Beautiful layup. Schrammick, the senior, only had 1 point in the last game, making a bigger impact today. She's already got 5. Marshall to Martin. The threes are so tough to come by for Iowa, but the rebounds are not. Marshall hits that one. Gabby Marshall had no points in her last game. She can be a hot or cold shooter. And sometimes all it takes is one to go down for her to find that rhythm.
And that three was made possible by Sydney Falter's tough rebound. And that's what one of the things that Lisa Buter talked about is her willingness to get on the glass.
And there's a turnover. Second difference between shot and game clocks. Switch on Clark. 3 to shoot for a falter. Clark will heave it and drop it from way downtown. And she gives the Jordan shrug to the fans. Porter at the buzzer.
I hate it for Wisconsin. I do, because she was playing so well. She was a perfect 5 for 5 from the field, and now she's not even going to be able to start this third quarter.
That's right. She's sitting out right now on the bike. We'll see when she does join this game. A tie-up here.
And she let the whole fan section behind the Wisconsin bench know it, too.
Oh, you're being kind. You don't think it was at the fans. You think it might have been at the bench. As a coach, you had a few of those in your day, right?
I did. Mike Caden from Nebraska.
I would argue 24, Leitzinger guarding Clark, who makes an athletic move but can't finish because she was scoreless in the first half. Copeland, a beautiful ankle was bothering her. I mentioned earlier how important she has been to this team since the Kansas State loss. Her scoring has skyrocketed, and they've gone undefeated 6-0 since. Look at Caitlin Clark, split everybody.
So Clark just saw Sanaya Copeland go coast to coast.
2 fouls on Molly Davis. Sarah Williams still on that bike. We haven't seen her yet in the second half with her 3 fouls. Allie Douglas we've seen. She's got 2 more. Nice feed inside to Stuelke in a battle down there in a paint. So here's Hannah Stuelke, an 83% free throw shooter on the season. She's gone from 6 points a game last year to 11 this year. Copeland gets some space. It's been a tough day from the three-point line. Only 6 made total. But when you can get passes like that.
Hannah missed a couple of those easy transition buckets, and she kind of hung her head a little bit on the way back down. And I said, hey, it's too early for you to get down that way. She's just got to get her timing back. Remember, she did miss some games with that injury.
Sarah Williams is waiting to check into the game as Ronnie Porter. Copeland, no whistle. Clark wanted one. Porter the other way on Stuelke. No whistle there.
You do offensively, but yes, you're very aware of it. You have someone on the bench that's keeping track of things like that.
Caitlin Clark. She's up to 20 points, which means she's now scored 20 every single game this season.
Here on the other end, Sarah Williams, that's where she has got to grow as a player. You've got to understand, you've got 3 fouls. So you also know the scouting report on Hannah Stuelke. That's what Hannah Stuelke will do. She initiates that contact. That's what Hannah Stuelke will do. She initiates that contact. You've got to play with your arms straight up.
Great find from Stuelke to a falter.
So now Hannah has some juice, Mike.
Yep.
She's made her transition layup. She put Sarah Williams back on the bench, and now she's got a little juice.
Stuelke has 13 points. Second highest in the game today, behind only Clark. Schrammick trying to do work in the post without her partner there. And here comes Clark. Picked up the dribble, finds a wide open Kylie Feuerbach for 3. Timeout, Wisconsin. Beautiful drive.
From Wisconsin, just putting her head down, getting to the rim, and trying to draw fouls.
The lead is 13 for the Hawkeyes. Sellout crowd here in Madison, more than 14,000 fans. Marvelous feed.
Schrammick detached herself from Hannah Stuelke, and she can't do that. It's dribble penetration. You got to keep your player in front of you, but you just can't leave your step up like that to help.
has a deep ball. That's 5 in a row.
I mean, she's a capable three-point shooter. She's not known for her three, but when you drive, what it does is it opens up an opportunity for you to score from the three.
Fans trying to make some noise for the home team here. Beautiful save by Kate Martin, and it lets McKay rip it from deep. Tries to go behind the back, but loses it. Porter, a good look from deep. The Iowa ball.
I mean, when you've got one job is to shoot it.
McCabe, a former Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year. Here's Clark from deep. Clark's got 23. A big smile on her face, too. The Let's Go Hawks chant is building momentum.
They're not kids, but they're young adults, and they're supposed to have fun playing this game.
She finds a way to have a lot of fun playing this game.
And we have a lot of fun watching her play this game.
Look at that pass. My goodness, can the Hawkeyes... That one came from Addie O'Grady. Under a minute to play in the third. A third quarter dominated by the Hawkeyes. Porter slides through the lane.
We just saw back-to-back give-and-go baskets.
And then Martin gets the whistle. Our experts discuss everything happening. Clark takes a seat with 25 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. About 9 seconds difference between shot and game. And there's Sydney Falter with the steal, coast to coast, and the finish.
Lisa Bluter talked to us earlier about Sydney and just how whatever she needs to have done, Sydney will do it. She's versatile. She can play 3, the 4, rebound, defend.
That's a beautiful and athletic finish for Copeland. And that's going to end the third quarter. It is now a 19-point...
A dog. I love that. And that is a compliment. When your coach calls you a dog, then that's a good thing.
That's our State Farm state of success. It's so much success, and there's a turnover opportunity for Sarah Williams to score. That's what they just haven't had the chance because of the foul trouble, as she's playing with 4. Clark from deep. Bang! Clark's got 28.
Just going at Sarah Williams. Just hope she doesn't foul out, but just keep going at her. But Caitlin Clark, I mean, we talked about repeatedly about her ability to play without the ball. Her ball movement, setting up her screens, using her screens to get herself open. Just one possession at a time. You hear a lot, hey, let's play timeout to timeout.
It was the 7th of her career. She had 22 points, 20 rebounds, and 10 assists. Doesn't look necessarily like a triple-double is going to happen, but then again, with Caitlin, you can't count anything out.
You just can't count anything now, like you said, Mike. Like, you just never know.
That's a wonderful look to Marshall, who can't finish the 3. So a double-double much more likely. Williams from the top of the key. Schrammick's trying to save it, but a Falter pulls it down. And here comes Iowa with a 4-on-2 break. Easy peasy for Addie O'Grady. Williams.
Yes, she landed on everything awkwardly. My wrist hurt. Play the what-if game, but you can't help but wonder, like, what if she wouldn't have gotten into foul trouble?
Stuelke sitting on 15 points.
That was great defense by Sarah Williams. She just went straight up. Didn't try and block a shot, just contested.
Porter, so confident. Hannah Jimenez with the steal. And a bounce pass to Williams, too strong.
They've got 3 sophomores, a senior and a freshman on the court right now.
Stuelke, 2 more. Last year was how the season ended up. They won 4 of their last 5 conference games, including the last game of the regular season against a ranked Michigan team, which broke a streak of 13. That pass went into too much traffic, so the Badgers are coming down a baseball heave from Porter to Williams. Leisinger finally, in the pregame warm-ups, there were sections of girls behind the basket who were saying, "Hi, Kaylin Clark," in unison, trying to get her attention time after time. There are so many 22 jerseys you see all around the arena. Sitting on a career-high 17 points. His shot well guarded by the Hawkeyes. Stuelke for an easy 2. Second game back from a 3-game absence with a leg injury. Another turnover by the Badgers. That's now 18 on the day. Stuelke's approaching her own career high. She's 3 points away from 22. Stuelke's 1 point away from 22.
That was a great job by Molly Davis to get in the paint and draw Stuelke's defender.
Talent on that roster.
It's going to be very similar to what we're seeing here today. A lot of sophomores, a few freshmen. When Iowa was at the Big Ten tournament, Target Center, they filled the Target Center, Carver, Hawkeye North. I imagine that.
Clark falls down. Ooh, she looks hurt and is slow to get up, slapping the floor in pain. Looks like she's going to be okay, but a little hobble.
And you know what? It's time.
It's time. She is coming out.
Let's take her out now. It's time.
Looked like that left knee just made direct contact on the floor, and you can hear the crowd give her the applause she deserves. Shawnometer up to 3,041 for Clark. Approaching the final minute of the ball game.
1 minute remaining. 1 minute remaining.
Hawkeyes will pick up their 10th win on the season. They were 5-3 to begin the season last year. And by the way, they also lost to K-State in the non-conference last year. Things ended up just fine for them.
What I love about Kaylin Clark and her, we talk about her maturity and her growth, is she says, look, let's not get too high, let's not get too low, let's not get caught up in the wins, and let's not, lose ourselves over the losses.
As for the Badgers, they'll fall to 5-4 and 0-1 in conference play this year and start to turn this into a positive season for them.
I mean, their next 2 games are games that nothing is guaranteed, but certainly winnable games. Just steady increments of growth, which is what you want to see. Might not be as fast as maybe she wants or the fans want, but it's just where it is right now, and this program is definitely improved.
14,252